The last time I sat down to film a Q&A for this channel, I had fewer than 100 subscribers. Well, at last count, I had 175, which means there's a lot of people who are subscribing, but not quite knowing who I am. So I thought it was Q&A time again. I took to Instagram and Twitter. I asked people to ask me questions, and sure enough, they did. So here we are. I'm Linda. This is Linda's World. This is another Q&A, and it starts right now. We'll begin the Q&A in a moment, but I do want to address a couple of topics first, not the least of which is this hair. I know what I look like. I see myself in the camera, okay? It's just that I've been doing my own hair since quarantine, and the places are open now, but I never had like money and time at the same time to like go do it. And also it's unwashed because I'm going to the beach tomorrow, and I didn't see the need to like wash, condition, blow dry, and straighten hair that was just gonna get ruined by the ocean and the sand. You know what I mean? So I'll be looking a lot snazzier in the next video. So sorry about that. So the second thing I want to say is that 175 subscribers is really close to 200 subscribers now, isn't it? So I figured out that when I hit the milestone of 200 subscribers on this channel, Linda's World's first official giveaway is going to take place. I said it. A prize will be yours. So in future videos, look out for the beginnings of videos like this, like these times when I'm speaking, and you will hear all the details. You'll hear what the prize is. You will hear what you have to do to enter the contest. And there you have it. And just keep looking out for that. And when the 200 subscriber mark hits, the prize will be yours. And they'll announce the winner, and we'll work it all out, and just there you go. Now, one of the things I do know for sure that has to be in place for you to win is that you have to be subscribed to Linda's World. So that's why, like I always say in every video, if you're just finding this video by chance and you're not yet a member of Linda's World, well, I suggest you join by subscribing right down below. And while you're there subscribing, don't forget the notification bell either, because you want to be alerted when new videos upload to my channel. Otherwise, how are you going to win anything, right? Okay, so on with the Q&A. Now, the first question that I wrote down in my little book when I went through all my pages, Instagram, Twitter, and so forth, was someone who asked, what made you want to start your own YouTube channel? Now, I addressed this in my previous Q&A, but I'll say it again. And I don't know, maybe there's some stuff I left out, which is, so like, okay, about a year ago in April of 19, I was suffering immensely from the symptoms of my disorder. And it includes a hell of a lot of pain, especially upon waking up, and like dead hands, and like a back that like won't move, and just stuff. So I videotaped myself. I took out my phone and I taped myself getting out of my bed so that I could get a gauge of like what time, like how long it took. P.S. It took 7 minutes. And so, but not to bring the party down. So then I started randomly taping myself talking about topics because I don't know, I felt like it in my house. And so somewhere around the end of August, I was like, well, you know, people do this on YouTube, so like do that. And I did. And I never really intended it to go far, but then all of a sudden I did, you know. And it's interesting. Now, I teach English. I'm a high school English teacher, if you're new. And we used to teach things. You know, we would read the book with the children, you know, and we'd say, well, what does this mean? And what's the symbolism? And now we're not supposed to do that. Now we're facilitators for like activities, and we can't impart any concepts or wisdom. And this big, you know, flash drive that I call my brain is like, it's crying. It has this ideas that need to come out. And so I was like, well, maybe I can't do it at my job, but I could do it elsewhere. And YouTube is the place for that. I have a lot of words up there that I really, really, really want to share with you guys, and hope that you can walk away from watching a video of mine knowing something you didn't know before, or thinking about something that you didn't think about that way before, or whatever, because you watched me talk about it. And I, you know, I have something to contribute to the world, and what better way to do it than the second largest search engine on the entire internet? So, Linda's World. Hi. All right. Now, seeing as how I spoke of being a teacher, a question that was posed was, did you always know you wanted to be a teacher? And what was it like in the schooling for that? Well, schooling first, basically, it's not the toughest thing in the world. You basically take in college the subject that you want to teach, you know, in my case, English, and like major in that. And that was annoying, you know, books are this fat or whatever, but I'm a reader and a writer, so like, it wasn't hard. And then you take the sequence of education classes, and then you go to these bullshit things that give you your license, and then, you know, just job hunts like anybody else. The schooling wasn't the most terrible thing. Did I always want to know I wanted to be a teacher? Did I always know? No, I actually didn't. It's really funny. I knew from the time I was 16. When I was really, really little, I wanted to be a pediatric nurse because before I discovered my love of dogs, I love babies. And so, I mean, it's funny how people can turn. Now I'm like childless by choice, but I love babies before I discovered like animals. And then science got hard, so I didn't want to be a nurse anymore. And I flirted with the concept of being a lawyer and so forth. But then I had this wonderful teacher in the 11th grade named Jerry Stalonis, and I don't know if she'd ever see this, but Jerry Stalonis, if you're out there, you're awesome. And I've been teaching for 20 years because of you. Thank you. And she was teaching us, The Great Gatsby, which is my favorite book of all time. And I just was like, I want to do what this lady does. Like, I want to read this book with other teenage people, like, and teach them what she's teaching now. You know, I want to flip that and be her, you know. And I did, in the same room actually once, and because I teach at the school where I went. And it was really, really, really awesome until about 6 years ago. But I'm not going to get into that any further because I don't want to incriminate myself. Okay, I'll just answer the third question. Funniest hookup story. Well, I have hookup stories that are funny, but probably not appropriate for the viewership of this channel. But I do have one actually funny hookup story that I could probably tell, which is that one time my ex-husband and I should say, we're divorced. We never lived together. So I would mostly go to his house, but he would come to my house every so often if like something was wrong with my dog or whatever, like, and I couldn't leave the premises, you know, because I lived in Brooklyn. He lived in Long Island. So it was like a 90-minute drive. So one time he was over and we had been doing what, you know, married people do. And we'd been done with that activity for maybe 2 minutes, you know, and there was a knocking on my door, like furiously, and someone kept ringing the doorbell, right? So I ran up the stairs to the bathroom. I had this apartment where it was like a large studio, but the bathroom was up these stairs. So I ran up to like get a robe, and I made him answer the door, and he answered, and it was some guy asking if we were gonna like be moving the car because he needed the parking spot or something. And that's, by the way, that's such a Brooklyn story. Oh, God, I hate my borough. But I figured I'd just throw that one in there because I don't know that I could tell the real ones because, well, my mother watches this channel and some people who are very, very underage, so. If you really want to know the good ones, DM me. Okay, so now, someone asked, do you like One Direction? Folks, I'm going to confess something really, really bad. I don't know what they sing. I'm 43. Leave me alone. I'm happy I know Ariana Grande and Billie Eilish and Post Malone. I have never heard a One Direction song, at least not to the best of my knowledge, and so I can't say I like them or dislike them because I've never heard of it. I have heard the new music of Harry Styles and Niall Horan because they were musical guests on SNL, and those songs are good. So I'm going to have to go with yes. I guess I'd like them if I heard them, but pardon me, I'm middle-aged. Sorry out there, young people who watch my channel. I like, you know, like the Beatles and whatnot. So that's just, you know, sorry. Okay, what's your zodiac sign? I have a good answer for this. Now, I'm an Aries, but my whole life I thought I was a Taurus. Here's what. So I was born on April 20th. I was born on April 20th, 1977. And I always assumed that I was a Taurus. My mother told me I was a Taurus. And the Daily News horoscopes said that I was a Taurus. But then I bought the Taurus book and I was going to do my wheel, you know, and I wasn't represented. So I gave the book to my cousin. I bought the Aries one because I'm an Aries. And according to at least the charts. So I'm an Aries Taurus cusp personally. Now I present, it's funny, I present like an Aries, and I know a great deal more about astrology than I'm saying. Like it's something I'm really into. And so I watch videos about it, and like I've read books on it, and I'm like, astrology is a thing that I do. And so it's interesting that I'm perfect Aries Taurus cusp, right? Even so much back in the days of MySpace, they would put your birthday, you'd put your birthday in, right? And so on your homepage of MySpace, before Facebook, when MySpace was a thing in like 06, they would put your astrological sign based on the birthday you typed in. So I typed in April 20th, and they told me I was an Aries in the front. But then you go to the section that says blog, and they called me a Taurus. So even one website in itself couldn't figure it out. I was both. So go, I don't know, go figure. But I will say this, my moon is in Taurus, and I've always said that it's perfect to be an Aries Taurus cusp because like half of me wants to go out and party and scream and shout, and the secret half of me, like my moon is your secret side, and my secret side just wants to go home because I'm boring and old. I was like that when I was 22, so it's not even like I'm, you know, like ribbing myself about being old. I've always been that way, where part of me wants to go out and boogie, and the other part of me just really wants to be in, like, her bed with TV on, you know? So, Aries is the answer with a Taurus cusp. Okay. What's your favorite Ariana tour? Well, you know, I've only gone to the Sweetener World Tour, so I can't accurately say, but I will say that I've seen, like, ad nauseum, I've seen many, many times the Honeymoon Tour, and I've seen the Dangerous Woman Tour, like, on video a great deal, and I've seen extensive video of the Sweetener World Tour, including my own 2 concerts in June and in November of last year, and I think I'm going to have to say the Sweetener is my favorite. And I'm not just saying that because I didn't see the other 2. I think that what's cool about the Sweetener World Tour is, my reasons for loving it so much is because, first of all, the aesthetic of the thing, like the way it went, like just in terms of the lights and like the snow confetti for the Christmas medley, or the thank you next confetti, or like the visuals of NASA when it just shows space like that, or the beautiful visuals that look like a combination of planets and candy when Sweetener turns into Successful.
But I don't know what I'd do without you in my life. It'd be so sour. I'm hoping that everybody can experience what we have.
You know what I'm talking about? It was just visually stunning. And I always like a tour that's like later than the other ones, because think about it. She didn't have the other songs to sing, right? Like if you're an Ariana Grande fan and you saw her live in like 2017, you didn't get to see NASA, Bloodline, Thank You Next, you know, like stuff like that, because it wasn't written yet. You know what I mean? So I'm going to have to go with Sweetener World Tour. Because, I mean, if anyone's ever seen my merch video, you know that I love it a lot. I've devoted quite a bit of money to Sweetener World Tour merch over the last year, so I guess there's my answer. Okay, what is your favorite Ariana merch item? Well, okay, again, if you've seen my merch video, you know I have a great deal of merch. I'll pop the link to that video in the description below because people seem to like it, and my collection is pretty vast, so like, you know, just check it out if you want. I'm gonna have to split this answer up between something I have and something I don't have, because I do have a couple of the one that got away. My favorite merch that I own personally, I'm gonna have to go with my Take Care of Your Body crew neck from Honeymoon & Co. Oh, picture. And I love it, and I like sleep in it unless I'm too hot to, and it's awesome. And but that's from Honeymoon & Co. So from Ariana's website, like straight up, I'm gonna have to go with the pink and black hoodie. So like that. And my favorite merch that I don't own is something that I'm trying to own. I'm like searching the internet for the right one. Is the crew neck that says "The Light Is Coming." God, I want that. I want that so hard. You don't even know. What more beautiful, wonderful thing is it to have an off-white crew neck sweatshirt that says "The light is coming," reminding you that the light is coming to give back everything the darkness stole. There's nothing more enlightening than that. There's nothing more that puts a smile on my face as I'm living my shitty life than that. So, like, that's my favorite merch that I don't own. So, I just gave you a real roundabout answer. That's what I do. Okay. So, by the same token, what's your favorite Ariana crew neck? Well, I'm going to have to go ahead and say the Take Care of Your Body. So, there's that. Okay. Now, next question on the list is, do you watch The Real Housewives? I kind of don't. And I kind of, how can I put this? I kind of, hate is the wrong word. I reject it. Reject The Real Housewives because I don't care for the fact that they're called The Real Housewives. New York, Atlanta, whatever, Beverly Hills, whatever the hell they have a whole bunch of branches. I don't watch that. And I watch that stuff. I watch like the Shaws of Sunset. I watch Jersey Shore. Like, I'm not above reality TV. I watch a whole bunch of it. But, you know, I watch the Kardashians, you know, stuff like that. But, like, I can't wrap my brain around Real Housewives because they're not, okay? My mother, when she picked us up from PS 204 in 1985 and walked us home and made us snacks and told us to do our homework, she was a Real Housewife, okay? My next door neighbor who had 3 children and planned the block party and stayed at home all day, like, with her kid, like, teaching them to color and stuff, okay, she was a Real Housewife, okay? Like, they're not Real Housewives, and I reject that, and I can't watch it because it's not real. So, that's my answer. Oh dear. Here's a really, really interesting question. How do you stay positive in times like this? I kind of don't. I kind of don't stay positive. I'm actually not a positive person at all. It's funny because I'm always like, hoo hoo, you know, on this channel, and I do that in real life too, but like, it's kind of fake. And like my brain doesn't even, like my brain sends a signal to my mouth to go like this, but it's not real. I'm not positive. I'm actually in a great deal of physical pain most of the days. I'm in a great deal of mental anguish most of the days. I've had a very, very, very difficult last couple of years. I've had a really, really difficult time years ago before I realized I was mentally ill. Life comes hard to me. Relationships come hard to me. Work comes hard to me. Money comes hard to me. So I'm not positive. I will say in answer to like, in terms of like this stuff that's happening here, like our current times, how do I keep a positive outlook on it? Because I don't have the most negative outlook on this. That you would think I'm a negative person, but like I don't visit that upon today's problems really. Quite frankly, denial. That's what works for me. Not denial like I don't know what's going on in the world, but more like I shut it down and I watch comedy. Like after I make this video, you're gonna find me sitting on my butt watching The Big Bang Theory while I fold my laundry, you know, and not thinking about like pandemics or Black Lives Matter or whatever, just for a couple of hours, because I find that if I inundate myself with information, my brain doesn't like stay glued on right, and I get even more negative than if at all possible than before, because I'm pretty effing negative in my real life, I have to tell you. And you know, something probably I'll have to work on, or maybe it's right, I don't know. If you want to get more information about this and how I feel about positivity and negativity, I will link below my latest video, which is the fact that positive energy and positivity, false positivity that is actually ruining your mental health. I have plenty to say about that, and I said it last week on Self-Care Sundays, so go check it out, and you'll see a more elaborate answer than what I've provided for you today. Okay, so let's see. Do your students know you stan Ari? You know, they do now. It's funny. We do this thing called Two Truths and a Lie. I mean, not like everybody does it, but it's a cool game that I've seen it like done in other arenas, but I do it like first day of school or whatever, as like a do now. And it's kind of like a getting to know you. And so I put, like, I try to think about, like, the rules of the game are 2 things you're writing about yourself are true and 1 is a lie. So I read, like, Miss McManus sang live in Paris. It's true. Miss McManus hates Justin Bieber. It's true, you know, like stuff like that. And so often I include Miss McManus loves Ariana Grande or Miss McManus hates Ariana Grande, right? To see if they think it's real or false, right? And so in that case, yeah. And then once in a while I'll see a person wearing a piece of merch, you know, like there's this one really cool guy who used to go to the tutoring center, and he had the split crew neck on, and I was like, oh my God, did you go? And he was like, yes, I went with, he's like, this girl in your class, you know her? And I said, yeah. I said, oh my God, you guys went? That's awesome. And so, like, if a person indicates that they like Ariana Grande, I will totally share, you know? And sometimes I pepper it into conversation so they see that I'm on their wavelength. But I'm not trying to be down with, like, young people. It's just more like, I'm like, hey, we have common ground here. I'm not quite the cold old lady you see. You know what I mean? So they do know. By the same token, do your students know about your channel? They do not, and I'd prefer that they don't. But then again, I'm not doing, this isn't like Trisha Paytas's OnlyFans here. It's not like something to hide. It's not, you know, I'm not making the same material as Tana Mojo. I'm just, you know, I'm out here trying to spread, like, awareness, positivity, and light, you know? So, like, if they found out, it wouldn't be the worst thing ever. I will say that this is one guy at our school, and he's, like, not exactly a beloved teacher by staff or students for various reasons. And he had a YouTube channel where he did different stuff. It wasn't like this. It wasn't like a channel of, like, lifestyle or vlogs or whatever. It was just him doing random crap, like, with a guitar or whatever. And the students found out, and they hazed the shit out of him. And, you know, that was probably not cool, but I mean, whatever. Like, if someone wants to, if someone asks, I'll tell them, but, like, you know, I'm not hiding myself here. Like, I'm proud to be here, but I don't think they know. A couple of ex-students have found my channel and subscribed, so I remember you guys, and I see you. Hello there. And thanks. Okay, so let's see. What's next on our list? I'm reading from my planning book. What's your most and least favorite fashion trends of the last year? That's interesting. It's funny. I was watching Nikki DeMara's video about taking 2000s, like early 2000s fashions, and seeing if she still likes them, and she was like really feeling it. And I was watching that thing, and I was like, holy shit, I haven't changed my game in 20 years. Like, I wear the stuff that I was wearing back in like '03, you know, with the exception of like bootcut pants or whatever. I don't do that. But it's because some of the trends of today I like and some I don't. I'll tell you the trends I don't understand. My least favorite trend. I don't understand people who wear really, really, really high-waisted stuff. And it's not because I think it looks bad. I remember when there was only one kind of waist and it was high waist. Like, I'm old, so I remember like 1985, you know, and like I remember when there was nothing but pants that came to here and they were just so vastly uncomfortable, and I don't like it, and you won't catch me wearing high-waisted anything because it just sucks in everything that's wrong with you and sticks you with a zipper, you know. It's just really not cool. And I think my most favorite fashion trend, I think I'm gonna have to go with the oversized crew neck. And I think you guys have seen like obvious evidence of me, you know, with wearing an oversized crew neck quite often. And I love that. It reminds me of like, again, the 80s when you have to wear everything real big, you know? And so I buy my crew necks in a large now because I'm 5 feet and real small. So like, it's like a dress to me. And so I have to say the really oversized crew neck sweatshirt is like the thing. Like, I love it. I will definitely do that. And finally, on my list of questions is, would you ever date again? The person who sent me this knows that well, people know that I've been divorced. I've been divorced for about 2 years now. Let me put away my notebook down on the floor here and change my position as I'm sitting. I'm sorry. And well, it's a weird, twisted answer. So I don't know that my marriage soured me to dating. I think I was soured to dating before. I've never been really interested in that kind of thing. I've never been the kind of woman who thinks that you are a failure as a woman unless you find a man, you know? I've never been one of those people who thinks that I'm not complete until I've found a person to complete me, like in Jerry Maguire, you know, at all. I actually reject that very much, and I have to stop myself sometimes from looking down on people who feel this way, because I know it's everyone's personal choice, you know, just as mine is to stay single, so is theirs to find a husband. I understand that. It's freedom of choice, it's free will. But so in the answer to will I ever date again, you know what? No. Actually, and it's not because I'm like, they, you know, so-and-so hurt me, blah, blah, blah. It's not so much that, it's that I think basically that I'm kind of done. You know, I'm 43 and I'm really, really, really used to being alone in my bed with my dog, and I'm really used to having to answer only to myself and putting the remote down where I left it and finding it right when I re-enter the room because no one else moved it and stuff like that. So I'm just really, really happy to be single. And that is not to say that I don't go out and enjoy heterosexual fun every once in a while, because I do, and there's a person with whom I enjoy that heterosexual fun, and we enjoy heterosexual fun together. But that's not dating, because I'm not seeking a new relationship, you know, and I really don't want to put on a dress and go to a restaurant and put my napkin in my lap and ask someone what they do for a living and how they like it. That's just, I got bigger fish to fry. The time I spend in that restaurant talking to some guy is the time I could be home watching Family Guy. So there's the answer to that question. So I don't know how this turns out. I hope you guys learned a little something about me. This is a shirt that I've owned for 13 years. It's from when those Gap shirts came out, Assured. I love this. I put it on because I'm thinking like maybe if I wear it, it'll be true. But in any case, I just want to point that out to you and say that this was a cool, fun exercise, and I love doing Q&As because you never know what people are going to ask, you know, and you guys never know what I'm going to say, and I guess that's the beauty of questions and answers, right? And so I guess I'll just leave it at that. I've got to actually go to feed my dog now. I didn't notice what time it was. So I'm going to end here. And I'm going to tell you to look out for Self-Care Sundays this week because it's going to be an awesome one. Look out for more information about the lovely 200 subscriber milestone contest. And if you know some people who haven't yet subscribed to Linda's World, or if you have not yet subscribed to Linda's World, well, encourage them to do so, because if 25 people subscribe, somebody walks away with a prize. Who can be that? I will see you guys in my next video, and thank you so much to everyone who participated by asking me a question, and have an awesome, awesome day.